when I go from India to the West, I just see that India is degrading as fast as they can, but the West is always far ahead. So it's astonishing that people from the Western world can take to such a life even now. In general, it seems to be more difficult the further west you go. Paschime lok shab mura anacha, as is stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. People in the West are all fools and misbehaved. So it's really amazing that even in the Western world you can take up this lifestyle. Especially one thing I've been thinking in the last few days while I've been here. It's pleasantly surprising to see how women from the Western countries can take up a traditional life of chastity, service to the husband, family life, actually being mothers in more than the biological sense. For our projects, farm projects in India, we do a lot of research into the practicalities and also into the traditional culture that we want to follow. So that traditional culture we want to introduce all over the world. Krishna's Vedic culture. So if you think that there are some things that Savyasachi Prabhu says that don't fit with your mindset, you might consider that you need to change your mindset. Of course, expecting people from the Western world to adjust so readily and so quickly is maybe not very realistic. But practically Indian people in the cities are also, they're so far away from this culture, from their original culture, that it's a process of re-education for them also, is it not? Very much so, coming to our farms. One thing is still there in Indian culture, even today, is appreciation of the family system. That is under that appreciation of the family system is under constant attack, but it's still strong, which was fairly strong even in this country and up to a generation or so ago, but is fading away rapidly, it seems. So again, I congratulate all of you for taking up responsible family life in Krishna consciousness. The women, instead of aspiring to be astronauts going to the moon or head of multinational companies or to join the army, a few years ago that saying that would have brought out laughter, the idea of women joining the army. Previously they could join as secretaries and nurses, but not as soldiers. But now it's considered normal. But the Matajis here are content and happy to be Matajis, to be mothers and wives. So you may say, well, why don't they have the same opportunity to do big service like the men? But actually establishing these farms, these projects, it's a big service. You may think, why am I just growing cabbages? I could be a big GBC or a sannyasi or a guru. I could be on the national, all-European council and making big decisions and respected by everyone. Actually, if you go up in ISKCON, you get a lot of disrespect also, but that's also there. But you are doing big service by showing an example to the world and to our devotees also how people should live, how people can live in Krishna consciousness simply and happily. There's so much protest, women's lib and all this kind of thing. Means they're not happy. And when they get their so-called emancipation, they're still not happy. They're never happy. And even no protests and happy here. It's better not to protest. Even if there are things which you think aren't right, you can try to work on peacefully to rectify things. In the 1980s, I used to see often in shops, when I was doing book distribution, one sign that people would put, "Oh God, please give me the courage to point out things that need to be rectified." I'm paraphrasing here. Please give me the tolerance or the wisdom to tolerate things that I cannot rectify. And the wisdom to know the difference. There are so many demigods in the heavenly planets waiting to take birth in devotee families here. Srila Prabhupada said the demigods are lining up to take birth in this movement. So women can do very big service by regularly getting big stomachs. Give birth to plenty of children. Raise them in Krishna consciousness. It's an important service. Someone has to give them the opportunity to come. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.